Genetic biomarkers.
Right.
You introduced to this workshop, and my first question is, when I saw one of your first charts, you mapped the genes, the genetic profile, and where we are coming from. Is this really possible?
Right. So I actually didn't do that work, but there's quite a few people. That map was published in 2007. So it's called genetic geography. So what they do is they sample individuals in different countries, and the one I showed today was Europe. It was the first one. And then they did analysis to ask what are the genetic markers which are only found in the Netherlands or in Italy or in Switzerland. And then from that they could find whether individuals in the Netherlands have those same markers and whether people in Italy do. And it turns out that they found a set that can discriminate where you were born. And so, as I said earlier, I was born in the United States, but my ancestors were Polish. My grandparents came over in the early 1900s. They all came from a very similar region of Poland. So if you did a genetic test on me today, you can pinpoint my grandparents' place of birth to within 400 kilometers at 95% accuracy. It's pretty good. So essentially we can do that almost for everybody on Earth now. I mean, so that I showed Europe, but there are ones for Africa, Asia, India. Some of them are better than others. Europeans are very highly studied, so they're the best characterized. But we can do this for almost anyone now.
Let's move to genetic markers and disease.
Okay.
Usually many genes are involved in relation to the phenotype. Let's talk obesity, for example.
Right.
How many genes are involved?
Well, there's an obesity map that's published every 3 years, and they update it. Last time I looked, which might have been 3 years ago, there were over 300 genes that had some impact in some populations. But we really don't know because obesity is one of the more challenging ones because there are probably many ways to get overweight. I get overweight by too much ice cream, right? So I know that if I have too many calories, I can, but there are other people who might have genetic predispositions. They might have fat around the middle, or other people have fat around the visceral, the organs. So there are many ways to be obese, and therefore there are many different genes involved in that.
One last question. We are in the 21st century. Where will these diagnostic biomarkers go? What is the future during the next 10 years?
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, I've been in this field for 30 years, and every 10 years they ask this question, and I say, 10 years from now. It all depends on funding. But, but I think it's going to be an incremental change. We're going to find new markers and new patterns over the next 10 years, so that by the next 10 years, maybe we will have 60% probability or 65% probability telling somebody what type of diet would be best for them and what type of medicine. At least that's my hope, that we can do it a little at a time. We're not going to have a set of studies that go, oh, now I have all the answers and we can now tell you what to eat. We're going to be doing it a little at a time with the types of studies that we're doing with micronutrients or with dietary macronutrients like fat and carbohydrate.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.